Business partner in SAP S/4HANA. The business partner function in SAP offers a centralized platform for managing diverse business relationships. It provides a consolidated view of partner data across various business processes, streamlining operations. A business partner can represent a supplier, customer, individual, or an employee, and can be structured as an organization or a person or a group, offering flexibilities in representing the different entities. Business partners in SAP MM. In SAP S/4HANA, the business partner has merged as the central point of contact for managing both customers and suppliers' data. This unified approach simplifies master data maintenance and promotes consistency across various business functions. Compared to traditional SAP ERP system, using business partners offers several advantages. A legal entity is represented with one business partner. A business partner allows the maintenance of multiple addresses for various more users. In SAP ERP, one supplier or customer could only be associated to one vendor account group. With business partner, multiple roles can be associated to the same business partner. Maximal data sharing and reuse of data leads to an easier and simplified data consolidations. The general data of business partner is available for different business partner roles with specified data is stored for each role. Multiple relationships to the same business partners can be maintained. Time dependency at different sub-entities, that is roles, address, relationship, bank data can be maintained. These are the following configurations required to configure a SAP business partner in SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement. We are going to know about all the configuration steps step by step in the upcoming slides. Now, if you look at the configurations, we have a configuring vendor account groups and configuring business partner, customer and vendor integration, and additional business partner configurations. What is vendor account groups? In an SAP implementation, it's common to create a separate vendor account groups for different types of vendors, such as foreign or import vendors, local vendors, service vendors, one-time vendors. Now, if you have to talk about one-time vendors, these one-time vendors records can be used for various vendors who are only need once or very rarely. For an example, if you need a material urgently and your regular vendor can't deliver it on time, you might use a local or unapproved vendor for this one-time purchase. One-time vendor records are also useful for travel, expenses, reimbursements, and vendors who cannot accept the company's purchase orders. Okay. This grouping helps to meet the reporting needs of your company by dividing vendors into these groups. You can get better or more focused reports and apply the specific pricing rules to each other. For an example, the foreign procurement involves the various charges known as the condition in SAP, which are more numerous than those local procurement. These charges might include the fees for opening a letter of credit with a bank, wharfage, custom clearance, letter of credit clearance, shipment, and custom agent fees. To manage all these charges, you configure a pricing schema especially for the foreign vendors. Similarly, you would create a simpler pricing schema with fewer conditions for local vendors and assign it to the local vendors group. There are a few points that needs to be remembered. Okay, we always recommend using the standard configuration objects provided by the SAP instead of creating the new ones. However, in many SAP implementation projects, specific business needs, authorizations, or the reporting requirements will necessitate the creation of new objects. So whenever the new objects are needed, try to base them on the existing standard objects whenever the possible to save the time and efforts. Even though the terms like business partner or the suppliers are used in SAP S/4HANA, you will still often encounter them, the vendor in configuration, master data, business processes, and reporting. Now, let us have a look at the configuring the vendor account groups. So here in this following session, we will cover the essential FI accounting, which is FI configurations needed for the business partner to work effectively in material management. We will demonstrate how to create the FI vendor account groups and how to create them a number range and which will be assigned into the account groups. It's important to coordinate closely with an FI consultant to ensure that the FI and integration is error-free. Vendor account group is a method of grouping vendors who share the same number range and attributes. This grouping determines which fields are visible and editable in the vendor master record. The vendor master record is particularly important for the purchasing organization. When a vendor is created, a purchasing user specifies which data is relevant only to a specific purchasing organization. However, a vendor might interact with multiple purchasing departments within a single company, and negotiations with the vendor might be specific to certain geographical areas, each corresponding to a different purchasing organizations. To create a new vendor account group, we use the transaction code OBD3. Okay, if you want to follow the menu path, here is the menu path. Now, in order to create vendor master data, we have to do the configuration first. And to do the configuration, we go to the transaction code SPRO and then SAP reference IMG and then go to the node financial accounting and then accounts receivables and accounts payables and then go under vendor accounts master data and then preparation for creating vendor master data. Click on it. So here we have to execute the first step, that is defined account groups for which screen layout. If you execute it, now as you can see that it is easier to create the vendor master data by using the financial accounting node. It is the job of a FI consultants to create account groups for vendors and customers, and then to create the customers and vendors. And as a consultant, you have to prepare the data for purchasing organization segment in the vendor master data. So here on the screen, you can either select and then copy an account group, or you can create as a new entry. SAP has provided you the standard vendor groups, which you can copy to create your own account group. But I will recommend you to create a vendor account group as a new entry. So click new entries, and then we will choose the name of the account group. Let's create an account group with the name, and in the general data, its description of the meaning will be the local vendors. And you can see the another option for field status. So what is that? So as I mentioned that in a vendor master, there are three segments in total: general data, company code data, purchasing data. So if you want to hide a field or to make a field as an optional entity and a required entry or just display the field, so you can control the field status from this options. So if you double click on general data, you will have all the groups which are presented into the vendor master data. If you double click on address, you will have all the fields under the address tab, and you can change their status by using one of the options here: suppress, required entry, optional entry, and display. So it is a normal question into the certification exam and also in the interview, that what is the priority level in the field status. So the first priority level is suppressed, where you hide the field completely. And the second priority is display. So the field will be displayed and the value will be there, but you cannot change the value. If the value is not there, you cannot input the value. So that's how the display field works. Next, the third priority level is required entry, where you can must have to input the value in the field. The last priority level is optional entry. Whether you enter the value or not, the system will not display any messages to you. So that's the priority level of field status. So it is a normal business requirement for the users if they do not want to see the extra fields which they don't need their business processes. So they will tell you to suppress the field so that they can only see those fields which they need for their day-to-day job and not other fields, which can be confusing for them what value to input in them. So this is a configuration screen where you can come and do the settings for the field status. You can navigate the options yourself that what fields and each group exist, how you can change the field status for them. And that's what you have to know here. And once you are done, hit save and then now go back and you can quickly create two more account groups for vendors. For an example, we will create one more account group for the foreign vendors. And the third one you have to create as for one-time vendors. Here, the one-time vendors means that the company will make a purchase from a supplier or a vendor only one time. There is no agreement in between our company and the suppliers for continuous purchasing. So it is only a one-time purchasing. And in that case, you have to create a separate account group for one-time vendors. But do not forget to mark this checkbox that says one-time account. Hit save and the data was saved. Now go back again. Now the second step you have to do is to create the number ranges for the vendor accounts. You can create by using the transaction code XKN1 or you can also follow the menu path. And remember, number ranges cannot be overlapped. It means if a number range is already exists, you cannot create the same number range. Again, system will give you an error. So I'm already on the display ING screen and already under the node that is preparation for creating the vendor master data. So if you execute create number ranges for the vendor accounts, execute it and then click intervals and you will have the following screen. Now on the screen, you can either create a new intervals by clicking on this button, insert line, or you can adopt the existing number range as I mentioned to you that number ranges should not be overlapped. So if you're unable to find the number ranges that is unique, then you can click this button that says free intervals. If you click on, it will show you the numbers range which are available. So what will you do here? We will select a number range here. So let's select a number range. And here you have to choose the number which is two-digit key. So I will select it as SL for local vendors. And then I will select it and then press apply intervals. If you scroll down, you can see your number ranges here. Similarly, for foreign vendors, you can click this button again and this time you can choose a different number range. Else you can follow the same number range which we have created. Now if you can see here, you have created the number ranges. You can say that you have applied to the different number ranges one for the local vendors and the second one is for the foreign vendors. Now the other thing which you have to understand here that the number ranges can be of two types. The one is internal number range and the second one is external number range. Now what is the difference? As you can see a column here that says external. If you will not mark the checkbox against the number range, then the number range will be picked up automatically, which means it is an internal number range. For an example, if you create a vendor starting from 1, so the second when you create system will it will be example if you create a vendor starting from 1, so the second one when you create it will be the 2 and then 3, 4. So automatically the number range will be applied whenever you create a new vendor master. But with the external number range, you have to give the number yourself on the screen and then create a winner master. And secondly, external number range can be an alphanumeric. So you can choose the combination of alphabets and numbers. But you have to choose the number yourself. Then you will be able to create a winner master. And that's it. Hit save and press enter to continue. We have to do in the next activity that we have to assign these number ranges to the vendor master which we have created. So let's go to the second step. So either you can use the transaction code OBAS to assign the number ranges to the vendor account groups, or you can follow the menu path. So go and you can see the options to assign number ranges to the vendor account groups. Execute it, and you will be landed on the screen now here. Go to the position and locate your account groups which you have created. As you can see here, the local vendors, and then you have one-time vendors. And if you scroll up, you can see the third account groups as a foreign vendors as well. So let's choose the number ranges. So the number range we have selected for the local vendors is SL. Similarly, I'll allocate the same number range for the foreign vendors as well as for the one-time vendors. That's it. Then hit save and you are going to create a new customizing request. Press enter to continue and the data was saved. Now, the next step is to configure BP master and link to vendor master. So the following steps can be executed to configure the business partner master data. So the first step is to define number ranges by using the transaction code BUCF. And here it's menu path that I will follow on SAP system. If you go back, I'm already on display IMG screen. Now, if you go to the node cross application components, expand this node and then scroll down, go to the node SAP business partner and then expand the node business partner, then go to the business basic settings and number ranges and groupings and execute define number ranges. Execute it and you will have the screen. You will have the same screen as I show you for the vendor account group number range. Let's check the change intervals and you will be landed on the screen. So remember, the business partner master data number range is separate from the vendor account group's number range. We have to do the same steps. So let's click this button, free intervals, and then we have to select the number for business partner master data for vendors. So let's select the number range. I will choose the BP account group as BL for local business partner master data. Select this and press enter to continue. And similarly, click this button again. And for foreign BP master partner master data, if you want to create a new number range, you can create, else you can use the same number range. Okay, just hit save, press enter to continue, and the changes were saved. Go back, and now the next step is to define groupings and To those groupings, you have to assign the number ranges. So execute it and now create a new entries. So first step, you have to choose the name of the account group according to the business requirement. So let's choose it as SBPL, and that is for local business partners, master data. And the short name can be the local BP, and the description can be the local business partner, SUK1. And the numbers we have selected for the local business partner was BL, so that's it. Similarly, for foreign business partner, we can select that SBPF, and it will be foreign BP, foreign business partner. Choose the number range as BL. That's what we have selected for foreign BP business partner master data. Okay, and then for one time, you can select the number range as a SBPO. Then hit save and create a new customizing request, and it will be defined groupings and assigned to the number ranges. Hit save, press enter to continue, and the data was saved. Now we have done these two following steps. Okay. Now the third step is to define the number assignment for direction BP to vendor. And here it's menu path that I will follow on SAP system. So go back. Now you have to go to the node master data synchronization. So expand this node. Remember, I'm still under the node cross application components. So under master data synchronization, go under the node customer or vendor integration. And then expand the node business partner settings, and then settings for vendor integration, and then expand the field assignment for vendor integration, and then expand the assign keys, and then execute define number ranges for direction BP to which vendor. Execute it. Now you will be landed on this screen. Now here you can see that this is one column that you have BP account grouping, and in the next column you have vendor account groups, which we have created under the financial accounting module. Now you have to create a link in between the business partner account groups and the vendor account groups to define the number assignment. So click on new entries, and we will enter the business account group which we created for the local business partners, and then we created the account group for under the financial account, and that one. Alright, we have created the account group under the financial accounting, and once it is done, hit save. And we have created the account group under the financial accounting, and once it is done, hit save and press enter. Now you can see the both BP account group and the vendor account group in the financial account has been assigned to each other. Now you have further two options, same number and flexible groupings. Same number determines that the same number as the business partner number is used when the vendor master accord is created. Here, it can be possible for the external number assignment, but for internal number assignment, where the number is generated automatically, so it can be a problem or a complicated because the number range is different for this group, and the number is, and for that the number range is different. So the both number ranges are different and they cannot be the same numbers. Okay, this is the one thing. Now the second thing is the flexible grouping. So if you want to click this button, so it means that if you select this BP grouping, business partner grouping, you can select any account group. Besides this account group, by default, it will select this business partner grouping. So the account grouping will be selected, but you can change the value. So if you click this button, flexible grouping. Okay. Secondly, we have to map the other business partner groups with our other foreign vendors and one-time vendors. So I will select it as the SBPF for foreign vendors and for our account group in the financial accounting and the one-time BP accounting and the one-time vendor accounts. So that's the end of the configuration for business partner master data and the vendor account groups. Now I will proceed to the configuration for purchasing organization data, and that is the third segment in vendor master data, and it is done by the SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement consultant. Before I do the configuration for purchasing organization data in vendor master, so let me tell you the business scenario, the users in purchasing department, vendors, delivering plans, invoicing party, and freight suppliers. So these are the partner functions which we have to configure first in the SAP system, and that is done by the SAP S/4HANA sourcing and procurement consultant. So we have to do this configuration for vendor partner determination by following menu. So all the menu paths are under display ing screen. So first we will define the partner roles and define the permissible partner roles per account group. That is VN for vendor, DP for delivering plan, invoicing party, and freight suppliers. And then I will follow the menu path in defining the partner schemas and to assign the partner schemas to the accounting groups. And the third menu path is the partner settings in purchasing documents, that is define the partner schemas, that the key is already been provided by the SAP, that is 0002, and that refers to the standard purchasing organization. And then we assign the partner schemas to the documents types. So I will demonstrate you on the SAP system for better understanding and that how we can configure the vendor partner determination. I'm on SAP Easy Access screen. If you go to the transaction code SP arrow and then reference IMG, then go to the node material management and expand this node and then expand the node purchasing, scroll down, then you have to find the node for partner determination. Expand the purchasing node, expand this node and then expand the first node partner roles. So execute define partner roles. As you can see that SAP has already provided the list of partner roles. So every company has got two options. Either they can use the standard partner roles or they can create their own partner roles by clicking new entries. So if we go to the position and look at the partner functions or vendors that represent by two-digit alphabets, you have to make sure that these function exists in the list. If it doesn't, then you have to create your own partner functions started by two-digit key. And secondly, you must have to make sure that if you go back and the partner function VN, so you have to ensure that this unique checkbox is checked. This indicates whether you can use this partner function only once in the supplier master because they cannot be the two different suppliers for one document. It can be a two different freight suppliers, it can be a two different invoicing parties, but the suppliers can be the same. But if we click on this partner type and look at the definitions of allies, so that represents vendor. Secondly, you have to make sure that another partner function DP that represents delivering plan should also exist and should be assigned to the partner type LI that represents vendor. And if you go to the position and look for PI, so this is also exist in the same list. And the fourth one is freight suppliers, that is represented by FS. So, according to the business scenario, all four partner roles exist in the list. Remember, that's why it says partner type LI, because there can be only one supplier who performs all these partner roles, or there can be a different suppliers who can perform all the partner roles on a purchasing document. So, for example, a vendor can be different. However, the delivering plan can be different, invoicing party can be different, freight suppliers can be different. So all four partner roles or partner functions, there can be four different suppliers. There can be one supplier only, or there can be a four different suppliers. And we have to create four different suppliers master data in order to assign the four partner roles for functions which I've showed you. So this is only for your information. Okay. Secondly, if you go back and if you have to execute the defined permissible partner roles per account group, execute it. Now, this configuration is very important because here you should ensure that the partner functions which I've showed you in the last step should be assigned to your vendor account group, which we have created previously. So, if we go to the position and locate the partner function VN and our account group is, and take a look if it is assigned or not. So as you can see that in the list, there is no assignment in between the partner function and our account group. So click new entries and the partner function is VN and our local vendor group. Similarly, VN and our foreign account groups and VN again for our one time. So repeat the activity for foreign vendors and for the one time vendors. Once it is finished, press enter to continue, press enter to continue, press enter again and press enter. So just ignore the warning. So you can see the assignment in between the partner functions and the vendor account groups. So you have to do this assignment in between all the partner functions which you want to see as your business requirements to your vendor account groups. So the next one is DP. Okay. Follow the same practice for DP and assign DP, PI and FS to all the local, foreign and one-time vendors. I have made the assignment, so you just have to press enter. Once you are assigned, you will have the warning, so you can ignore the warning by pressing enter. As you are using the standard partner function, so that's why the system is giving you the warning because it says the allowed namespace aren't allowed. Namespace is always starts from the alphabets with Y or Z. So that's what the SAP recommends because we are using the standard partner function. So that's why the warning is coming up and we can just ignore it. So in some organization, I've seen that they use the custom partner functions according to the business requirements. They can start there from either with Y or Z. So in our business scenario, we are using these standard partner functions. So I haven't created them myself, but SAP has provided these partner functions as a template which you can use as per your practice on the SAP system. Once you are finished, hit save and then press enter to continue. The data was saved. Now go back. Now go back. Go back again. Now expand this node partner settings in supplier master record and then execute define partner schema. So Here, SAP has already provided the list of partner schemas which you can see on the screen. L1 represents vendor, L2 represents vendor subrange, L3 represents vendor plan, and L4 represents the vendor plus manufacturer. Now, if you select the first one, L1 vendor, and double click on partner functions and procedures, now you can see these partner functions. Okay, if you will assign this procedure, scroll down. So you can see that in the partner function procedure L1, VN exists, freight supplier exists, delivery plant exists, and invoicing party exists. And further, you can control them by mentioning no change possible. So you will select this checkbox in front of the supplier, so you will not be able to change it because by default the system will pick up the vendor number when you create the master data of it. So you cannot change it, and that is mandatory. So it means if you will leave these partner functions FS and DP blank, the system will not generate any warning. But if you will leave supplier or PI, if there will no change values assigned. But I will say in only for invoicing party because VN will be filled automatically by default. So invoicing party, it is mandatory. So as you can see, the checkbox mandatory against these partner functions. So you must enter the vendor master number against these partner functions. So we will not do any configuration here. So SAP has already provided these template configurations. Okay. And secondly, you can see L2. If you double click on partner function procedure, you can see the partner functions under that, like CP, OA, invoicing party, CA, GS. So it depends which partner function you actually adopt. So if you adopt this one, so you will have these available partner function under this procedure. And similarly, you can navigate as L3 and again have a look the partner functions under that. And then L4 partner functions under that. Okay. You can create your own partner schemas if it is required for your organizations. So we will go with L1, and if you go back and then execute assign partner schema to account groups. Now again, these are the account groups which we have created in the FI module. So if you go to the position and look at your account groups, that was. So as you can see now here, PS represents the partner schema purchasing organization. And this represents sub-range, this represents plant. Now you know that for purchasing organization, the partner schema that exists, that was L1. And you can represent here L2 for sub-range and for plant L2. You can do this configuration. Once everything it is done, press enter, hit save, and then create a new customizing request, and it will be the assigned partner schema to the account groups. Hit save, press enter to continue, and the data was saved. Now go back and the third one is partner setting in purchasing documents. So expand this node and again define partner schemas. Execute it. So you will be landed on this screen. Now here you have three different partner schemas: contracts, standard purchase order, stock transfer purchase orders. So let us take an example of partner schemas for standard purchase order 0002. So if you select it and double click on partner functions in procedure, so what exactly this configuration will do is when you create a purchase order, so the partner functions will be copied from the supply master. Okay, but it will ensure that you are using the partner schemas for purchasing documents for all the four partner functions which we have discussed earlier. So it must have the all partner functions assignment. Okay. For an example, it has VN, vendors, delivery plant exists, invoicing part exists, and freight suppliers is exist. Okay. And further, the control for them like no change, mandatory, higher level, and partner determination at end. So you can control the partner functions into the purchasing documents by making an assignment here. Okay. Or if it is already there, then you do not need to do any further configurations. Okay. If in case if you are creating any custom partner functions, starting from alphabets Y or Z, okay, then you will try to assign those partner functions to the customized one. And in our case, we are using the standard partner functions, so we need not to do anything further here. So we just have to ensure that they exist under the required partner determination procedures. All right. And this partner determination procedure tuple 0 represents the purchase order. After this, go back and then go back again. Okay. Now go back. Right. Now next step is to assign the partner schemas to the document types. Execute this. Now here we need to assign the partner determination procedure to the standard purchase order document type. So here SAP is already has provided the standard purchase order, so which is called as an NB. To this, the partner schema, partner determination, it is already been assigned. So if in case if you are creating any customized purchase order, then for this customized purchase order, you need to assign the partner determination procedure. Okay. So it is already been assigned, so we need not to do anything here. All right. So let's go back. So we are done with the business partner configurations in SAP S/4HANA in terms of vendor master data. Okay, now we are ready to create our vendor master data. That's what we have to do as an end user.